morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you are joining me here today. Super excited to have you. We are going to do a full body mobility flow that's about 25 minutes. For this flow, you will need a yoga block as well as a resistance band. You can use like a pillow or something along those lines that helps you in the sense of a yoga block. Something firm that's going to hold support. So if it is a pillow, make sure that it is a little bit more of a stiff pillow. And then a resistance band, you need something that's going to help with stretching. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in 25 minutes, follow along. Let's do it. Okay, first we're gonna go ahead and start with some wrist work. We're gonna loosen these up, which is super important with training, lifting, and those kinds of things to have good wrist dexterity and flexibility. So we're gonna go ahead and start here. You're gonna put slight weight on your hands here, and you're gonna adjust by about 90 degrees each time. And you're gonna just move back and forth. And then we'll rotate back. And you're gonna go from internal to external rotation. And you can add slightly more pressure, hold for a second, and then reverse back in. And you wanna go 90 to 90, back to internal. Stretching. Great. Rotate again. And you want to go slowly again. Remember, 90 by 90. Then you can add more. And one more rotation. So next we're gonna go ahead and go to the back of our hand on the ground. You're gonna try and keep your arms locked. Try to make a fist as hard as you can to bring us up here. Lower down as far as you can with your fist closed, and then lower your hands back down. Slightly active, and you want to make sure that all of your weight is not on this movement. All right, our next movement is going to be a downward dog to a cobra. In downward dog, you're gonna really focus on your shoulders. In your cobra, you're really gonna focus on your hips. So, downward dog, really focus in those shoulders. Get a good stretch. And then go ahead and drop those hips. Come down to that cobra. Focus on your hips, really pushing towards the floor. And you can rotate if you need. It'll help open those hips. Come back up. Again, focus on the shoulders here. All right, back down into Cobra. Chest nice and tall. Okay, next we're gonna do some active external shoulder rotation. So you're gonna lay belly down here, shoulders at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to lift our hands as much as you can. Now we're gonna do a 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. One more. If 90 degrees is too challenging, You can come a little bit higher, lower. You can play with the angles a little bit. 90 tends to be very general and neutral. Great. All right. Then we are going to come into prayer position and just really stretch out those shoulders and that back and hold it just for a few seconds. Beautiful. Okay, next we're going to do some shoulder dislocations. So we're gonna need our band, and you're gonna go from the flexion position all the way backwards into the extension position. Hold your hands in the ends of the bands as wide as you can with it, and just rotate back and forth. And this is a movement that you want to execute slowly. We're gonna do three here. Then you're gonna take your hands out. You're gonna move slightly more narrow. So I brought my hands in just a touch. Then we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do three here. 1, 2, 3. Move slightly narrow if you're able. And as you go through this motion, think about your shoulder blades going down and together, right? You'll feel the stretch in your pec, your biceps, your shoulders. And rotate back up. Your traps will be active going to the shoulder flexion position. 2. Beautiful. I'm gonna go slightly wider again. I went narrow, now I'm going back out wide. Okay, and last one, we're gonna go as wide as we were the first time. We're gonna go through it just a couple of times. Beautiful. Next movement, we're gonna do some tailor hold poses. So that starts in your butterfly position, feet together, knees fall to the sides, hands behind you. And here you're going to aim to push your knees to the ground as you push your hips forward. So you'll elevate off the ground just a tiny bit, and you're gonna go from back to forward. Really getting this movement and opening in your hips. You want to make sure your shoulders are down. They're not up here. You want to make sure your shoulders are active and down. Focus on your glutes as well. Holding your knees to the ground as much as possible. Beautiful. That's the last one. Take a second, grab your feet and go ahead and wiggle, and you're gonna slightly, Bubba, lean forward, bow. All right, next one, you're gonna go ahead and come into the table position. And this is more of an active movement. We are going to really focus on our shoulders here. Okay, so for the first one, I'm gonna start with this one. And essentially you're gonna try and rotate into a back bend. So, over here. You don't wanna go all the way into it. You're gonna push up and away. Beautiful. Hold them about 5 seconds each. Beautiful. We're gonna do 3 times each side. Switch. Beautiful. Switch. Last one. And back down. Next movement, we're gonna go ahead and really focus in our glutes. Beneficial to have your yoga block, your pillow, whatever that looks like for you. It's gonna help reduce the intensity of this for you. So we're gonna start in the pigeon position. We're gonna lunge. You're gonna put the block here. The higher your knee support is, the easier it's gonna be to be in this position. Okay, you want your back leg to be rotated under with your knee down. And from here, you're gonna twist towards your leg that is up, really focusing on your glute and opening that up. We're gonna hold it for a few seconds. Beautiful. Come back. Let that relax for a sec. Now come back. Beautiful. Forward. Last one for this side. Beautiful. All right, back to center. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and swap sides. And we're gonna do left leg forward, rotate our block, bring it forward. Remember, back leg, knee rotated under, and now we are going to rotate to the side and hold. Beautiful. Back to center. Hold this for a second. Twist again. Beautiful. Back to center. One more. Beautiful. Back to center, and we're gonna hold for a few seconds. Keep your chest high. All right. And now we're gonna go into a hamstring stretch. So you're gonna go ahead and put your working leg forward. You're going to, you can point or flex your toe. And you're going to walk your hands out as far as you can. Then you're going to take the opposite hand. So my working leg is currently my right leg. I'm going to take my non-working hand, which is my left hand then, and try and reach to the other side. Hold for 5 seconds. Beautiful. Back to center. And reach again. Try and reach a little bit further this time. Beautiful. And again, try and reach a little bit further. 4, 5. One more. This one we're going to hold just a little bit longer. Make sure to breathe. Okay, then back to center. All right, and now we're going to switch. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So, left leg forward. We're going to support with our left hand. Now our right hand is going to reach over. Stretch and hold. And back to center. Okay. Reach again. And each time, again, you're gonna try and reach a little bit further with your hand. Beautiful. Okay, reach again. Ooh, this hurts, but it's good. It's good for us. All right, we're holding this one just a little bit longer. The last one. Beautiful. Back to center. Go ahead and pull your leg back. Now we're gonna go back into a Cobra. Open our hips back up. And we're just gonna shift from side to side. Open those hips. Okay? Now we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch into a hip flexor lunge. So I'm gonna put my right leg forward first. This is going to stretch our left hip flexor. So lean into it and sink into it as much as you can. And then you're going to try and actively arch back as much as you can. You can try and raise your arms. Makes it harder. So do what you're able to do. Okay? We're gonna reach again. Great. Back to starting, arms down. If you cannot put your arms up and reach, just lean backwards. Okay, it'll accentuate that stretch. Okay, and our last one, stretch. We're gonna hold this one just a little bit longer. I'm pulling. Hold this one just a little bit longer. Beautiful, hands down. Just hold this one in the stretch. Try and get as deep as you can. Beautiful. Now I want you to slowly come up and out of that lunge. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Exactly the same thing. Now just the other side, okay? Left foot forward, lunge into your hip. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same thing. Reach our hands up, hold for a few seconds. Beautiful. Hands down, back to center. Good. All right, another rep, reach. Good, back to center. Make sure you guys are breathing through this. All right, last one. We're gonna hold this one just a little bit longer. Beautiful. All right. And again, coming out of that, make sure you go slowly. Okay. Now we're gonna go down into not child's pose, reverse child's pose, whatever this is, a beetle. And pull those legs in tight. And we're gonna do just here. Just a couple rotations. Loosen that hip complex back up. All right. Next one. All right, next one. We're gonna go ahead and go into the frog position. Okay? And we're gonna sit here just for a few seconds, allow ourselves to sink into it. Beautiful, and now we're gonna go ahead and rotate on each side just slightly, as much as we can. Beautiful, back down, other side. Beautiful. Back down. Other side. Beautiful. Other side. Beautiful. Back down. And now we're just gonna sit again in the frog position. And we're gonna make it active. So you're gonna rock back and forward slowly through this movement. Beautiful. All right, last one. We're gonna go ahead and do the hero's pose. This one is going to be challenging, and I highly recommend having something behind you if you do not have a ton of flexibility. You can easily put if you want, a pillow here underneath your butt to help hold your body up. And then we are going to drop backwards into the hero position. And this is going to stretch in your quads and your hip flexors. Make sure you breathe. If you're able to do it without the foam roller or without knee support underneath you, go ahead and do that. Same movement, it looks exactly the same. Lower yourself very slowly, right? Down to the ground. Continue holding. All right, we're gonna 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, now you're going to slowly lift yourself back up. Pop everywhere. And that is the end of our full body mobility routine. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you're notified next time I post, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.